waiting for the T side to make their move, but they're quiet so far.
And Rainwaker trying to see if there's a distraction to come through. Nicky's taking contact, and that's one of the A players dealt with already.
There you go, first blood drawn out and followed up by 500. They dive their way in towards the pit control and nobody else is there. Meanwhile, Ships in, headshots gained against Sin, clotheslines in past the half wall, and now looking for 2 more CTs around this corner. Does get overwhelmed, but they've done their damage. 4 on 2 now for 500.
And it just showed how quickly with those A players falling, no matter what the intent was for Ships up at the half wall, that round was going to be a successful one. And Farfan and Crimbo's best option is to back off for the save, hold on to what they have, try and force buy, come into the second if they fancy. And 500 with a beautiful site take.
Yeah, more valuable for that Kevlar and that kit more for Farfan and Crimbo. So take this round on the chin, sacrifice worthy to a pistol victory for 500. A hell of a way for them to start their T-side off and all. A hell of a T-side that they can potentially mount up against this big side as well.
And just knowing that even the ex-Skade roster and the Need Doctor roster, which was, of course, Nicky and Patrick together, Inferno was one.
When they charge forward, I count the idea this one will be very easy for all. The Molotov sent in, sprays down for Tabs and does find Nicky, kick things off a big.
Even Farfan, high advantage, deals with Patrick, nicely done.
Very nice jumper, very nice kill. 5 on 3 instead for the big side, 500. Facing a bit of resistance here on the follow-up. Conversion round that might not go their way.
A 3 for 3 in pistols for 500, but every time they've come out with a second, this could be the reverse factor.
Khalil facing in, Tabson does get caught. That Ships with an all-important casualty to his name. Farvan and Rainwaker go back and forth to a 3 on 2 that ultimately favors the CT side for a moment's respite. Then he just bring it back to Evans and the man standing, but Rainwaker, 16 HP in this retake.
Now, Rainwaker's one of the best clutches that we've got in Tier 2, Jay, so anytime he's alive and in a post-plant in a tight round, look to him to stand up tall.
2 CTs inbound now, Mac 10 and USP, I should say, actually. Keto drawing his one out as the Beagle moves in with Crimbo. Mac 10 trying to watch out the backside, take face, tags up from the AK. Mac 10 rounds the corner. And
he's the AWPer of the team. He's very proficient on the AK and the M4. One of those riflers that can be able to provide quite a lot around the big green. Ships gonna get charged down.
Flashing against him, corners check, but Tabson doesn't last long with those USPs versus the rifles. The numbers game will eventually catch off Ships, but it's a 4 on 4 situation. The Galil now for Nicky will try hold on to the trade. Try to get the AK back if possible, but ultimately to try to take it out of the hands of the CT forces. That nade gets Keto. Actually misses him entirely as it hits the side wall. Crimbo able to come up with one more good casualty. So these rounds a bit more expensive for 500 than they'd like to see.
Even Crimbo can make it another. AK does get caught off guard. Very hungry there for 500 to disallow rifles to get saved, and instead it means there's more casualties.
Going back for that gun here. Crimbo upgrading the AK and gets out of the way. Right, cool to make. Again, damage done with the 3 casualties in the previous round. At least 3 casualties for this round. Now 3 AKs to play with and the buyback for big. Very successful weeko for me.
500. Even trying to send Patrick down with that Mac 10. Got to be careful about aggressing through that smoke. Even looks back over towards that AK. Gets over to a Galil, so it's a slight upgrade.
Rifles are set, Ships prods forward, initially into Banana, checking his corners, looking for a fight, and he wins one as well.
Oh, so cheeky. Swing out though is good for Crimbo. A nice little lurk attempt there from Ships, very silent. Patrick's going to follow it up. The bomb is so far behind though.
The smoke's ahead of the incendiaries put up there. HEs and Molotovs to counteract. Second set of smokes on inbound here from the T side line. Only 1 player to defend the B site and also they might just hold back and hold for the rotations. The retake to get set up, but Crimbo wants a little bit more, so he does find Patrick, reduce him to 3.
That's an important kill. And now trying to see if they can break apart the setup. You've got a deep molly coming through. Nicky with the bomb plant. It's about the post plant and whether they can hold.
Advantage for big in this one, just about maintaining their positions and rotating to the retake. Incendiary standing as the M4s hold, the smokes will come down. Flashes also in hand. Tabson does put that fire out to the back of the box, and the AWP Denny can strike back instead, burning quite significantly though, and does go up in flames. 3 on 2 still. Nicky at the coffins up close, and personal spray goes awry, tries to transfer it back, and now Rainwaker blinded off, needs to spray them back, gets the wrong player though, but last bullet.
All about that distraction. Even the smoke coming down a little bit late. Crimbo just gets caught off guard. Next B player up, the Mac 10 doesn't quite drop him.
Spray gets thrown off by the jump phase, so Patrick giving up his life in that one for me. Keto still holding back at the sandbags, is eventually going to get overwhelmed with the Molotov support. Sin tagged up to 6 HP. Tabson P250 in with a counter smoke up. Try to look for a fight, but making noise. Does find Ships at least. That's 1 pick found, and a rifle now in his possession.
Now, we've seen these half by eco steals coming through from Big before, only in that last map of Nuke. HE's placement is excellent onto Nicky.
It's a 3-on-2 with HP over at least 1. This is plausible for Big for me.
Now, this is very doable. You've got a backstab coming through from Farfa to clear out that banana control. It's all about how much they can get out of Tabson because he's going to be a key piece.
One of the two players with the kits as well flashes into his position, both not blinding him off. Now Sin will try to take face, the P250 to bait and switch. Where are these two T-side players? They don't know till Denny comes up, and Nicky strikes to follow suit. Father now left alone in the 1-on-2, coming in from the back of Banana, looking to try and just hold them into the site, get the casualties in, keep the economy at a low position, or go for the Ninja Defuse. Smoke coming a little bit too late, so Denny will get that kill. Indeed, it will be 5-0. But again, a half... HE down on Keto, doing damage towards ships. That M4 holds its nerve. Flash in, there's the kill. Follow-up not quite there. Crimbo turns it back to a 4 versus 4 and dives back behind the sandbags.
And Patrick's going to try and see if he can put this duel out in the open, and he wins it indeed with the molly out to sandbags.
Advantage sits with 500 once again. Big may have found their responsives, but unable to hold control of the map and of the man advantage for that matter. Bomb will get picked up, but where's it going to commit? B side's pretty open, they're going to stack A.
Now, Ships has just been steaming. He has been so aggressive towards Banana in these last couple of rounds, and it works out successfully again for 500. This is a good call to gamble stack here. Just allow yourself to work over towards the A side. If that bomb ends up going B, that's it. You could just call it, end up saving.
The AK position here, the M4 standing for Sin. Rainwaker. It's AK. Just sits in the apps, not willing to move as of right now. Big made the right call here. 500 have to give themselves up. Nicky certainly will do. 3-on-3.
And the bomb's going B though. There seems to be a good mid-round adjustment there from Nicky, realizing the setup out towards long.
Have even up the man standing though, so will they commit to a retake on the CT side? It looks like they might just do here. Patrick is low, it sprays a little bit off there for Tabson. Might still see one man above the smoke, and indeed, Denny's gonna drop.
And that was very aggressive coming through from Denny. And now for Patrick, he's got to stay alive because Rainwaker's still in brackets.
And he's coming in for a backstab as well. Patrick's gonna hold his life, and with such little HP, the first face will be his last. Flashbangs turned away from, actually a smoke coming down, I should say, but Rainwaker does come up good to a 2-on-2. Patrick won't last long, and Farven cleans up the last. So that will be that first round on the board for Big. Bomb plant will mean Jack, because there is no saving there for the T's.
And I think the pressure just got to them, thinking that they had to try and get more out of that round. I would have loved to have seen Denny be a little bit more defensive. 10 down.
Not Rainwaker, though, his first casualty. Sid makes it look easy. Again, no Kevlar versus these rifles, and the majority of the players HE sent to continue to chip away at the T side.
They're just trying to dig deep. And Crimbo allows himself to continue jiggle down, just look down for the information. Don't want to give up too many frags here at all. Gives himself a multi, makes it nice and easy. Then he does try and back in, so at least some deagle damage being done, but the backstab even out towards Banana means that close. Keeping a lot of fights here towards Banana. Back and forth with the spams. Another HE placement down onto Crimbo. Eventually, Big have to give up. They can't keep holding this.
Passed off that orb towards Crimbo as well. Low HP for the man, Rainwaker. That's a hell of a shot. Farman giving up the ghost at a crack angle. Perfect timing, but now the AWP can strike. Ships is going to get picked up. Keto's SMG going to try and force forward. No flashbang support of it. Doesn't matter, they're low HP. It's easy pickings.
Just great distraction coming through out there from the new box. Yes, your AWP falls. Keto does so much. AWP does get baited.
Awkward flick. Denny going to make his way up close and personal. AWP against it, but Sin comes in with support in the end. Rotations fought just in time. And now 1-on-3 for Rainwaker's part.
And this is very similar signs to some of the characteristics we saw on Nuke in that second half, Jay, where you just get a stagnant period for 500 where they're up against a brick wall, they're not quite fighting forward. Rainwaker does well to at least drop Tabson.
Decent tap, decent kill. 2 more to get though, 20 seconds to try and do so. He's looking on towards the new box position and pre-firing it, but not catching anything. No information being found, and time well and truly of the essence at this stage. Smoke set, Keto is posted, and that is a 4th now for the Big side. It's for the T side. Tech 9s, Deagles, and a P250. A little bit Kevlar as well to work with, so it might be a little bit of resistance against the rifles. Ultimately, Rainwaker is allowed an opening kill for that, but Crimbo responds back. 4-on-4, and he's low HP.
And now Farfan's even aggressing down from mid, just being bracketed in. 500 just have to keep brute forcing these duels, even if they start taking map territory back to second mid.
M4 engages one, sprays him back, forcing him away at the bridge. Farvan rotating, spray back, gets only one. Patrick with a responsive, and Sin gets 2. So Nicky alone once again in the 1 versus 3. A lot of 1v3s coming in for 500 as of late. It will lead to the 5th round for Biggs. Nades up, sprays back through, damage done through the wall bang, but just not much in the way of the kill counts. They're getting a slight HP advantage here, 500. Need to find a pick, and Keyto's count one instead.
A slight little hesitation there from 500. Didn't know if they wanted to commit or not. End up backing off, and it works out not for them at all. Crimbo can re-aggress through the smoke. They've got 2 on B to crossfire, and the off angle still being held from Keyto.
Expecting a flashbang here, but ultimately he does start looking towards the entryway. Keyto catching that kill, and Tabs and Zorp can strike. 2 left standing for 500 as Big continue to maintain control of this streak. It'll be 6 rounds in a row, unless Patrick and Denny do something special here.
And this is where the pressure is starting to really build on the Bulgarians. They're at a tough time in these last few rifle rounds. Sin playing very passively out towards mini pit, does get domed.
Team want to find the site. Farben with a responsive now leaves it all on Patrick. His position revealed. Tap through does come through against Tabson as he reads it right, but Farben responds all the same, maintains control. And again, maintains that streak for Big.
And Big have only played Inferno 5 times in the last 3 months. You compare that with 500 at 23. It's over 4 times, nearly 5 times the amount of game time. 500, can he change that with the big green in his hands? The default set is ships. Will again look for the entries up banana, ahead of the smoke. Not challenged by the CT side. And look at the way that they're playing defensive. I think they've started realizing we shouldn't start being on the front foot against ships. Let's give that respect. Let's give that control forward and instead start retaking top banana later in the round.
Tabson holds his nerve. Or posted. Out to receive some contact ahead of the flashbang. Still lands the shot against Ship. Splash forward from Keto. Mode down 2. Transfer the triple, not quite there. Nicky holds his own back here at the banana control. 4 on 2. Still favors Big.
Tabson still posted up onto the angle. And 500 had no one playing anti-flash up there towards the top of banana. Rainwaker is trying to make a pick back work towards A, but even that's unsuccessful.
Nade sent. Just still can't isolate the pick. Farben and Tabson with the 2 to close.
But here on their map pick, they are being outclassed.
More pistols brought in, M4 engaging, crossfire for Sin and Farben, making it look so simple. Bomb's been dropped, the round should be over already.
That pay's not working out at all. There is a slight movement out from the apartments, Denny getting away with 1, but no more than that. Nicky trying to make anything happen with this Tech 9 damage onto Farfen, but that's it. Side,
rather than growing aggressive himself, will charge forward against Keto, and they kiss each other past the smoke. Oh, this is a massive sequence, but Ships detects it.
Still another player up towards the top of banana. That's Farfen looking to peek around the smoke. Ships has done so much in this round. Now they've got to tighten and close it down.
Farben's so hungry for this kill. He's getting closer and closer to finding the man, but does opt to fall away. Smart decision to make. Not hunting for, taking the risk to regain the man advantage. Ultimately means that they can't do that. They have to stand at the 5-on-3 for the defensive.
Now you've got Rainwaker still as a lurk out towards A. He's hoping to catch a reposition, even start walking forward, try and catch them off guard. He might actually try and bring that bomb back towards the A side.
They're slowly rotating into a B stacks with the execution inbound. It's all going to be a ruse here as they realize that A is completely open up. They found the gap in the fence, and that AWP now commits towards that B stack. So bomb plant will be secured. AWP, you get flanked out here by the AK, knife in hand. Easy pick.
Just a lovely walkout coming through. Even the AWP comes up closer, back over towards the AK. Does lose the fight to Sin, but you're so far away. You're so far out of position.
And we've got the potential to cut rotations back from Banana controls. It's got to come in from CT spawn for both CT individuals, Farben and Sin. Just desperate to find anything here, and they want to do so.
And just being charged off with the util. Sin is even hoping for a refrag, someone to overpeak towards the middle of the bomb site. It's just not happening at all. Big using as much of this retake in as possible. Farfen and Sin, they're still going for it.
Have no choice. It's round 15. They'll charge forward into the site, get mowed down by Denny Slaw, and Sin will not last long himself.
Around the corner towards a half wall and into the trap.
Flashes, not even a flash actually, that was a decoy grenade. Keto didn't capitalize upon it though. Nicky able to get the kill and now hold out that banana position knowing that there's nothing else out here. They're on their way towards the A site and Rainwaker tries to strike alongside Denny. Nicky gets another good pick back as Denny also finds Farben, holds contention over the bomb as Tabson will be able to trade. Now get back into that short control and try to secure the bomb.
And Tabson's got his teammate with him close by, just trying to see if they can get the CTs to peer through the moto smoke.
Damage done to Crimbo, but still finds the headshot. Patrick's Julie's come up good against Tabson, and now they swing swing back out towards brackets. Crimbo on the reposition, but is he going to get to that bomb plant in time? It's tapped once by the CTs as they try and call their bluff. Crimbo now knows what's going on here. No way they're on the retake, and they haven't defused it already, and he holds out in abs, holding for his position. The CT's going to tap it again, and Crimbo plays nervous, plays close, plays up against the Geordies here. Patrick going to cover him off. The defuse held together. Taps to the USP, trying to get him off the bomb. I think they just did it. I think they just did it. This ship's going to get this.
Coming into this event, just winning an entire event online, using that momentum, using the new org to get themselves up with a new lineup, to be fresh, to prove themselves on LAN, on their home turf, their home map pick of Inferno. And while it was a stunning start at 5-0, it has now been 11 out of the past 13 rounds being gained by Big.
Yeah, they've been looking stellar. Set piece coming in towards the stack. Might throw a bit of a spanner into the works here for the T. So they've got their luck out towards mid, but I don't think it's going to find much before the hit comes forward. Ships up close to the USP. Gets one kill, no more than that. 2-for-1 trades found by the T side. They see what's going on and they've ripped them all apart. Denny all alone. USP with nothing that he can do. This will be 12-7 for the C side.
Sin just spamming through. That Mac-10 from Crimbo is surely going to find the last player out towards the second oranges. Clearing out the bomb site. Mac-10's finally been seen. And 12 up for Big. And now he's been very quiet on Inferno. And try and get more out of some of your individuals like Denny and Rainwaker. Ships has been able to prove his consistency. Very deep, very passive in this round from 500.
Tabson flashed in, going to take control, charging straight forward to look for first contact. Saw the shoulder, didn't quite take the shot. Information goes both ways, they back off.
Now, look at the amount of nades they're already baiting though. There's hardly anything left. A smoke, a couple of flashes. Nikki at least gets that first pick up towards the top of Banana. That's just a lurk from Keto.
A real emphasis turns towards the A side, where they have got 3 players on the CT defensive, 4th on the T side, so got a man advantage in this particular context, but obviously the hardest site to hit.
You can see Denny trying to play anti-flash, move as far away from the balcony as possible. Patrick smoked off from long. There's nothing that he can do. He gets trapped into the bomb site now.
Nade sent and Molly sent. Smokes at the
pop.
ready, yep. 2 players to try and receive it directly. The smoke's coming in towards Arch side for now. Where's the flashbang? There it is.
It's all about the timing, though. They need that first entry. Look at what Nicky's doing. He's aggressed down Banana. They know.
He must realize here, Molotov sent, flash coming over. Here they come. Quick out for the T-side line. Sprays awkward for Denny as he dives in and loses his life. Rainwaker holds control. 3-on-2 for 500. Tapson looking for trades. Caught over the drop-off. And Crimbo now
try and drive them back in favor. And Denny working on that long contact. Doesn't have a teammate with him to peek forward. Big can slow this right down.
And that's exactly what they'll do. Quiet. Silence on Inferno. -1 flashbang to try and prod them forward here on the T side, and even that's going to give away very little to the CT forces. Got Denny back up towards Archers, so ready for a rotation here.
Nikito trying to see if any of those CTs get aggressive towards a long stance. We've seen it previously. Flash on the corner, 50 seconds on the clock. HG placement's decent.
Very good on Keto in particular, who's trying to be the forward man here. The spray for Denny only lines up 1 pick despite having a directive line to the entire T-side force. 4-on-4 now. Big have gained a bit of map control, but now need to focus on the hit.
And knowing that Nicky's in the site, it's about establishing that crossfire. Him and Rainwaker are the 2 A defenders.
They take too long, 2 more CTs will come in for backup as well. Nicky on top of the box, will he be detected here? Flashbang sent, he gets blinded by it, but Rainwaker in at pit, holds his nerve, only for 2 picks for Crimbo's back. Tabson also follows suit, and Patrick on the flank, 1-on-3, 2 low HP players. Could have done a bomb plot from here, this could be big. Oh, he's caught the casualty, 12 seconds, and now needs to hold off against the next man to pick up the bomb. He has the angle, sees the position, but doesn't know who to mow them down without the Kevlar leading the charge. The rush in towards that B side. Molotov sent, providing a bit of assistance. His back's turned, does get overwhelmed by the pistol, so that's 1 pick and a follow-up. This is where things get a bit dicey with this stack. Big have gone towards the B stacks in previous. Smokes to drive him deeper, might give up those rifles, and the best place to get that bomb on the A side.
And we've seen Big being able to get the stills, have not seen it from 500. Now they're going to start rotating a couple of players back over. Patrick still loses the fight at the half wall.
And now B's the open bomb site here. Nicky's got the Mac-10, Denny's got the AK. But they're going to commit towards the A site once again, so more fighting on their hands.
Nicky Mach 10, close range. Can he drop the bomb? Swings out in the open, gets nothing.
Too hungry there. Could have held the site, should have waited for the tease. And now Denny in a 1-on-3. Smoked off and everything. The bomb should commit towards the site. He's got to take a challenge directly in brackets, and he thinks it's better to go for the safe call. Not sure I like it, given the circumstances of the scoreline, but what other options do you have?
You don't have options here. Holding on to the AK is your best bet. Give yourself some leverage come the next round. But you've even got to consider this, Jay. Think about map number 1 and how that could have been a steal. Could have been in the hands of 500. How that might have changed the complexion of the mental game going into Inferno, knowing that you're a map up in the series. Give yourself a little bit more security and safety net of even going to Mirage if you don't take Inferno. But to think that Nuke was the more competitive map out of the two is very surprising.
Now the curveball for Big working on Nuke, the curveball for 500 not working out in Inferno, it seems. Denny holds on to the AK. There are T-side players close to him, but I think he'll get away alive. Yeah, no one checking this construction entrance. Attacked.
Trying to play out towards the sandbags. Doesn't have anyone playing anti-flash either. Big. Look at how settled they are in this round. Minute 30 on the clock. You've taken no mid control, no second mid. Instead, they want to try and retake Banana. They just want to try and bait as many of these nades as possible. Try and force out an early mistake.
Chips is tagged, calling the reload. Smoke's being sent down and holding his nerve back at the sandbags. Got Patrick drawing attention away. This could be a perfect lineup, but he gives away his position. So Sin and Keto just overwhelmed. The B site's open. It's round over.
Indeed it is. Not even a trade comes off. And he could just fill there for 500. They just get caught sleeping. Yes, they put the smoke down towards the half wall. They're expecting a cancel. They're expecting Big not to actually attack through. And you got players not in the right position with a nade out in the open. You can't blame your A-site defense there at all. Rainwake and Nicky and Denny did nothing wrong, but Ships and Patrick just got rolled. And look at Big. They're even going to have some intent on trying to drop some rifles, try and get some exit frags. That would be all important.
If any of these guys fall on 500, that's just going to hinder them even further. Might even call the round with a casualty. If they take all three down, then yeah, game done. No real firepower to play with. Denny's still challenging. And now Molotov out into the open. Tabson leaning forward. In the midst of the smoke, he'll make his way up. Rainwaker's core leans around for a bit more, engaging the player up at the top of the apartment, and no one stays alive for 500.
AWP looking to peek again.
Reposition, catching Tabson next to the big frag for Denny to take. Teammate in Ships also holding, but not seeing much more contact. The teams have rotated back and they're going to focus on the A play.
A lot of movement coming through from the AWP. Rainwaker next up to challenge.
Flash in, gets himself out of dodge, spray through onto Crimbo. Can't quite follow up onto Farvan. 7 HP for that man, though, makes it easy for the SMG burst of Nicky. Gets it together in the end, and Sin is all that remains. So, a bit of survival over this M4. The AWP trying to provide some cover. Their backs to turn, but Keto checks it. It's important on the adjustment there for Big. They kick things off.
And they were creative, but it didn't work out. Even Patrick has to start thinking, now I need to make something happen. Get this MP9 aggressive. Keto could be on for a multi.
It's the burst and spray, the jump phase for info. Swings back, sees at least 2 of these individuals, and both him and his teammate take tag damage. Meanwhile, Farvan strikes on Denny, and now out towards the A site is looking pretty light. Rainwaker alone to defend it, and they're on their way to him.
Even an off angle, slightly out wide towards that right-hand side.
Smokes off long, just got to deal with quad. First shoulder bait. Baits in the spray, swing from 2, kill found for Farvan, and there's only 2 left for 500. Nicky flashed off, backup is on the way in Patrick, but he's got a hold off on the site. The M4 doesn't last long, and it's an MP9 that will not...